Oh, hi! Do you remember we talked about Artemis II the other day? I kept thinking about the 4 people who were inside the spacecraft. I mean, who actually gets picked for a mission like that? Let me tell you who they are. First, the commander Reed Wiseman. He started out as a Navy test pilot and he used to run NASA's entire astronaut office. And honestly, this wasn't even his first time in space. He'd already spent 165 days on the International Space Station before this. But here's the detail that really got into me. On this mission, while they were flying around the far side of the moon, the crew spotted 2 craters that had never been named. And they suggested naming one of them as Carol, which was after Reed's late wife. That part just stayed with me. Next, the pilot Victor Glover. He's a Navy captain, a former fighter pilot. He has 3 master's degrees and he's flown over 40 different aircraft with more than 3,500 hours in the cockpit. He was also the first black astronaut to do a long mission on the space station. And with Artemis II, he became the first person of color ever to travel to the moon. And in an interview, he says something that really came into my mind. I'm wearing an American flag, but when I leave the planet, I represent the humanity itself. Third comes Christina Koch. She still holds the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman. 328 days. That's basically a full year. She was also part of the first all-female spacewalk in history. And with Artemis II, she became the first woman ever to fly beyond low Earth orbit. And her hobbies are kind of amazing. She surfs, she ice climbs, she does woodworking. She even studied astrophysics in Ghana as an exchange student. Yes, she's an astronaut for sure, but she's also just a genuinely curious person. And finally, from the Canadian Space Agency, Jeremy Hansen. He joined the Royal Canadian Air Cadets when he was 12 years old. 12! Wow, that's just amazing. He went on to fly CF-18 fighter jets, and in 2017, he became the first Canadian to lead a NASA astronaut training class. And with Artemis II, he became the first non-American astronaut in history to travel to deep space. So when you look at all 4 of them, you realize none of them got there by chance. Decades of flying, engineering degrees, and the kind of calmness that only comes from real pressure. But right next to all of that, there's surfing, woodworking, and a crater named after someone they loved. At the end of the day, astronauts are just people. Extraordinary for sure, but also deeply, deeply human. Korea also has a history of space exploration with Dr. Lee So-yeon, who is the world's 475th astronaut and the 49th woman to fly into space on a Soyuz craft for a mission. Korea Aerospace Administration has already set a clear roadmap to land a homegrown spacecraft on the moon by 2032. So that day might be closer than we think.